Alright, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Skill Drain, and today he's going to teach you how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! First step, now he's going to teach you how to use monster cards. Beginning now.
Alright, well, first of all, I should probably explain the field. Alright, deck zone goes here. You're allowed a deck of 40 to 60 cards. This is where you put it. Decks are used, basically, you put any cards you want in the deck, whatever you're going to be using. Decks need 40, 60 cards. Alright, back here is the spell trap card zone. This is where you set or activate any spell traps you have. Over here is the extra deck. This is where you put fusions, synchros, and exceed monsters, which I'll explain later on. This is the graveyard. This is where all cards you use, monster spell traps, this is where they all go after the effects have been activated, since the graveyard, or they've been destroyed by battle. And monster card zone, this is where you put all your monsters. Normal monsters, effect monsters, fusions, exceeds, all that good stuff. And this is the fields card zone. This is where you put special spell cards known as field spells. Alright, first I'll start by explaining just regular monsters. This is a normal monster. Normal monsters are like yellowish in color and they don't do anything special. You just summon them and just flat out attack. The stars you see on the, this is the attribute. Doesn't really have that much of an effect on gameplay. Same with here, this is the monster type. The stars are the level. The level decides whether or not you have to sacrifice for other monsters. Levels 1 through 4 you just summon normally. 5 through 6 you sacrifice one monster. Anything 7 or higher you have to sacrifice 2 monsters on the field, unless otherwise stated on the card. These are the attack points, these are the defense points, and yeah, 18, 15. And let me show you. Alright, next type of monster is an effect monster. These guys are like orangey in color and they have special effects, like Magical Golem's effect. It says, once per turn you can select one face-up monster you control. Its attack is halved during the end phase and it can attack your opponent directly during this turn. During the turn you activate this effect, only the monster can attack. So for example, if let's say I use Magical Golem's effect, then I use this effect, cut Dark Blade's attack points in half, and then I can attack my opponent directly. Alright, so that's an effect monster. Now I'm going to show you what a tribute summon is. Basically, you sacrifice any monster you want on your field and tribute summon a monster. Like I said earlier, 5 through 6 stars requires 1 tribute. 7 stars or higher requires 2 tributes, like 8-starred Blue Eyes White Dragon. And alright, so now the next type of monster I'm going to explain are fusion monsters. Let's say, alright, first let me show you what a fusion monster actually looks like. This is it. Purple in color, and then zoom in those. This is where they list the materials needed for any fusion. Like for example, this card, you need to fuse 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon cards, which I'm going to show you how to do now. So fusion monsters go in the extra deck. Alright. Now let's say you have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons on the field, right? And you want to summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So to summon it, you would have to play Polymerization. And this is basically the card used for pretty much every fusion. So what it does is, it sends all the materials to the graveyard and special summons the fusion monster from the extra deck. That's fusion summoning. Alright, now for synchro summons. This is a synchro monster. Hold on, let me just. Synchro monsters are silver in color, and Danny, give me Utopia. Give me an Exceed. I need a Thunder End. Oh, Thunder End. Never mind. Alright, so this is a synchro monster. They require a tuner and other monsters that add up to the level equal to the level of the synchro monster. For example, he says he needs Fluor Synchron, that's his specific tuner, and 1 or more synchro monsters. And I'm going to show you how to synchro summon right now. So, for Fluor Synchron, let's say you have, for Fluor, Chevalier de Fleur, let's say you have Fluor Synchron and these 2 monsters. If you notice, add up the levels, it's 2, add 2, it's 4, add 4, it's 8. So what you can do is, using him as the tuner, you can synchro summon by sending all of these to the graveyard, and just special summoning Chevalier de Fleur because his level is 8. So that's how you synchro summon. Now for Exceed summons. Where is he? Alright, this is an Exceed monster. They're black in color. And you notice that the stars are different on this one. That's because they're ranks, not levels. And in order to summon an Exceed monster, you have to overlay 2 monsters of the same level equal to the rank of the Exceed monster. For example, Thunder and Dragon. Thunder and Dragon requires 2 level 8 normal monsters, and now to Exceed you have to overlay, which is basically put one on top of the other, and special summon the monster. And Exceed's monsters usually have special effects that involve detaching, and detaching is when you get rid of one of the Exceed materials and use the monster's special effect. Like his effect is destroy all of the monsters on the field by detaching one material. Alright, now for spell cards. This is a normal spell card, Polymerization. Normal spell cards, you basically, if the conditions are right, you can just play them and do whatever they say. Like Polymerization allows you to fuse, and yeah. Alright, now for another type of equipped spell. Another type of spell is equipped spells. Equipped spells are equipped to a certain monster and stay equipped to that monster for the certain turn. And they usually give it like attack or defense points or some special ability. Like if I equip, because this equipped spell has to be equipped to a dark monster, so I equip it to dark monster. And his attack increases by 400, so instead of being 16 attack, he's at 2000. Alright, now for another spell card is the Quick Play spell card. These spell cards are special as in, you can tell by the symbol obviously. For these cards, you can use them like normal spell cards, or you can set them face down for your turn. And on your opponent's turn, if they try to do something, then you can activate the Quick Play spell card. Alright, next is... Oh, I skipped the type of monster. Well, I can do that now. Next is Ritual Spells. What Ritual Spells do is, they basically they say you have to tribute a monster to special summon a ritual monster, equal to level. Like, for example, Gishki Aqua Mirror, I have to tribute monster equal to the level of any Gishki ritual monster. Like, for example, if I wanted to summon Soul Ogre, I would have to tribute a level 8 monster from my hand or my field. So if I can play Gishki Aqua Mirror, tribute Blue Eyes, and special summon Soul Ogre. Ritual monsters are generally OP with like super broken effects. Alright. Next, final type of spell card is... Where is it? Where's my deck? Oh. Next, final type of spell card is Field Spells. Field Spells are... They go in the Field Spell card zone, obviously. And they have effects that affect every monster on the field at least. Like some field spells increase the attack of all certain types of monsters. Some increase the defense. Some allow special abilities like this one. It allows me to get a Malefic from my one of 3 Malefics from my deck to my hand. And the final type of spell card is Continuous Spells. Continuous Spells basically stay in the spell and traps card zone for the entirety of the duel. And what they do is they just provide special effects, like this one, Solidarity. This one states that when you have only one type of monster in your graveyard, all monsters of that type gain 800 attack points. Alright, now to move on to the trap cards. The first trap we'll talk about, obviously, is normal traps. Normal trap cards in general, you have to set... This rule applies to all trap cards. You have to set them face down, and then on your you can only activate them on your opponent's turn when they certain conditions are fulfilled or whatever. For example, if your opponent tries to attack you, for example, you can activate this trap card, Mirror Force, which destroys all their attack position monsters. This is a normal trap card. One of the other types of trap cards is continuous trap cards. These are pretty much the same thing as continuous spells, but they fall under the trap card rule, which is you have to set them face down, and then you can only activate them on your opponent's next turn or any time after that. And they basically just stay on the field until your opponent, destroys them or their effects run out or whatever. And final type of trap cards is continuous traps. Continuous traps are basically the counter traps. My mistake. Wow, my bad. Counter traps are basically the end all of. Are basically they counter everything. Hence the name counter trap. Like for example, Solemn Judgment, possibly the most powerful counter trap in the game. Basically, you pay half your life points, and you can pretty much negate anything with this card. All right.
Don't be opening the doors.
And
Open that door.
oh my God, people.
That's not even open.
You can edit it later.
Yeah, we'll edit it up and move on.
All right. Now you've probably been wondering. You've probably heard me say life points a bunch of times. So let me explain to you what those are. These are basically how you decide one of the ways of deciding who wins or loses in a Yu-Gi-Oh duel. The way life points work is basically each player starts with 8,000, or you can start with whatever you want, but the general consensus is that you start with 8,000. And basically you just you and your opponent basically attack each other back and forth, use card effects, and try to get the other player down to 0 life points. When a player is down to 0 life points, they lose the duel. Other ways to lose duels are if you have no more cards in your deck and you try to draw a card, you lose. Or if a card has a certain win condition, like for example, Exodia. If you have all 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand, you instantaneously win. Alright. Enough about the cards. Let me show you how to actually, play a Yu-Gi-Oh duel. So, just Will, come stand over me. Will, stand over me. So I can play.